Hello, welcome to Sizzle Crypto. Today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. Is there more fire in the chamber, or is it going to have a pullback? And if you feel like you missed the move, is there a place you can re-enter? Two, we're going to be looking at USDT dominance, one of my favorite charts. We're going to also be checking out Total 2, which is the altcoin dominance. And I want to show you something with Ethereum. Let's get right into it. All right, with Bitcoin, as you can see, it hit the measure move of the channel. Spot on. Look at that. Absolutely lovely. I mean, you can't ask for a better chart when it fully plays out. A lot of times, when the market's not super bullish, you'll get about 60 to 75% of the move, sometimes a little over or under. But right now, Bitcoin's been hot. Crypto, I think, has been hot, and I think it's gearing up for some new all-time highs. That's just my opinion. We're only going to keep to the charts, but let's continue forward. As you can see, it went down this channel, and everyone's like, no, it's going to go all the way, crash to the ground, but nope, look at that shot right to the moon. All right, and that's exactly what we want it to happen. We want to see some altcoins and Bitcoin pump. I'm mostly an altcoin trader because I make more money off the altcoins just because of the volatility and the percentage gains. But, I mean, Bitcoin is fantastic too, especially if you're using leverage. I mean, you know, you can always do 10, 15x leverage for Bitcoin, and essentially you can make it like an altcoin. But for me, Bitcoin always, right now, still dominates the market and essentially gives the direction of where it's going. So if you missed the move and you're wondering, oh man, where can I re-enter? I'm kind of scared. It looks like it's really high right now. If you can see the RSI, it's hitting oversold. It just doesn't make you feel super confident. And if you even look here, it got essentially bearish divergence unless this can go higher. So, yeah, I understand. It's probably not the best time to throw all your money into Bitcoin at the moment. If you're long-term holding, then, I mean, it's not a big deal. But if you're like a trader and you're looking to make some quick cash, let me show you what I would use. I would use the Fibonacci retracement. Great tool. Essentially, you pull from the bottom all the way to the top. Now, let's just assume this is the top of Bitcoin at the moment. The best chances to pick up some more Bitcoin, if it's still very high, you might not get all the way to these levels I'm about to show you. But the 0.5 is essentially a 50% retracement. And that's essentially market sentiment is that every move will have a retracement of 50%. But also the golden pocket would be the 618 level. I would say if the market's still hot, yes, the 618.5 would be a great time to practically pick up an entry. This tool is very useful for finding places to re-enter into a trade if there's really not too much market sentiment. The Fibonacci retracements are very much followed and they're very well respected. But once again, there's no guarantee when it comes to crypto or just trading in general. Anything could happen. One day there could be massive FUD that dumps the market, or some extremely positive news that Satoshi Nakamoto came out of hiding and says Bitcoin to the moon, right? And then you're going off to the markets and Bitcoin hits ungodly levels of price action. So that's all I want to show you for Bitcoin right now. I would be keeping at the Fibonacci retracement zone. And just remember, you pull from the bottom of the move where the move starts all the way to the top of the move. That's a free tip on me today. If you don't know how to trade, very useful. YouTube it. Just YouTube how to use it. And once you get good with it, it'll give you great entry zones. This isn't the really just enough for day trading. But if you're more of that, I'll put some money into something and hold. Here's a great position to find. And if the market's really hot, though, it might only touch the 328 and then take off some more. So I would be following Bitcoin's price action and following the RSI and looking for RSI double bottoms, because that's a big indicator of when I see reversals. It's when I see the RSI pulling double bottoms. All right, let's move on to the USDT. as the dominance, I just want to show you what I was talking before. Oh my gosh, look at dominance. It was up here that not too long ago. Oh no, it broke. And it formed here. And look at this. You can't make this up. It played out just like butter. Alright. Here's the measure move. It hit spot on. Now, honestly, what I would be looking for is, it looks like it's trying to stabilize around this level. As you see, the wicks are kind of still touching. We'll have to see. Let's go to the 1 hour real quick. Okay, it could still have some lower downside as it forms a double bottom. Usually I wait for the second bottom, as the price action can be lower than the first bottom. So what I mean by that is, let's use some example over here. You can't really see it here, but there's a double bottom right there. But you got the first bottom and the second bottom, and then it takes off. So I would wait for the second bottom, but if it does stabilize right here, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back here, wiggles, pulls an inverse head and shoulders. It definitely, in my opinion, based on being in the market a long time, it is going to essentially retest here again. I would not be surprised. I mean, the market needs to cool off. It's been hot. Look at this. Look at these numbers. 9%, 11%, 11%. Crazy. 32%. This thing has been on fire lately. All right. That's just an outlier. That's just like, you know what? I don't care. Even when Bitcoin was going down and the alts were going down, this was going up. This is on its own tracks. He's not paying attention to the market. VRA is like, I'm doing my own thing. So let's get back anyways to what I was looking at. All right. Boom. There we go. I'm just saying, we're looking for an inverse head and shoulders and it to retest this trend line. Now, Bitcoin and the altcoins will take a cooling off as this does rise. But what you don't really want to see is this. It pull, retest this trend line, which would essentially be a fake out saying, hey, I'm actually gaining support, and then break back into this rising wedge. That you don't want to see. You don't want to see it retest the rising wedge, gain support, and then it will take off. This is how the market goes. You just got to watch it and play it by ear. But right now, for me, I would not be throwing my money in the trade. I'd be keeping an eye on USDT dominance, as I do feel it's going to come up to retest this trend line. All right, let's move to total two. Total two, I just want to show you is essentially the altcoins dominance. And as you can see, essentially, it's not the most prettiest one, but an inverse head and shoulders. And it played out like butter. Look at that. It has gone up the 1 day chart. So every bar is 1 day, which means the pattern's very formidable. And as you can see, look at, here, let me get rid of these, sorry. Boom. Look at that. It is going off like fire. And you can see that all the altcoins has definitely followed. And I just want to show you one last thing for Ethereum. Look at this. This is what a fake out does. Okay. And when a chart's price action contradicts the chart. So, for example, it broke down the rising wedge like it's supposed to, came for a retest, broke out, retested this lower trend line, gained support, off to the moon. And look at that, went right to the trend line of the top of it. But then look at this. Let's go 1 hour. This is when price action goes to the moon. Technical terms, it is supposed to break down with a 60% likelihood, 64%. But in this case, it broke up, practically stabilized with a lot of volume, shot right to the moon. That's what happens when price action contradicts the chart. You'll see a huge rise or fall in price massively. And it's vice versa. If this was a falling wedge, 64% chance to break to the upside, but it broke downwards, then you're going to see a massive drop in price. That's all I really want to show you today. One thing I do want to say, wow, Bitcoin is trading above 100K again. That is hot as ever, and that's exactly what people are waiting for. And that's a great indicator that maybe people will start getting into the market, retail investors. It's time to throw your money in Bitcoin again. All right, thank you for watching my video.